Hi. In the first video I made, I talked about the concept of frameworks, and within the concept of frameworks, I talked about algorithms. And I want to dive deeper into algorithms within this series and go over kind of what the different types of algorithms are that exist that you can use within your framework when creating a machine learning model. So the first and kind of the oldest is convolutional neural networks, or CNNs. And so convolutional neural networks are primarily used for image scanning and image recognition, recognizing images, passing images through, and having it like recognize images or text on the images, things that are very visual related. And so in that sense, you can really think of CNNs as far as the hardware component of them, like a camera or like an eye. It's really kind of what they are at a very base level. And then so when we start diving into the next layer of this camera, essentially, the best way to think about it is that what a CNN is overall is a camera that is made up of a bunch of little cameras. And so here I'm only showing 3, but imagine it's like 1,000 cameras, or it can be a huge number. And then so each one of these individual cameras or eyes look at a very specific and narrow part of an image, and then so this camera at the top looks very specifically at where the arrow is pointing to, and on down. And then so imagine again you have 1,000 cameras, and then each one of them is individually looking at an individual part of the picture. And then so when you take those 1,000 cameras and then you comprise them, the image that they're looking at and that they're comprising is the image of a camera, like a full camera. But yeah, I think that's the most simplistic way to break that down. So moving on from there, essentially how we train a CNN, like how we train this particular algorithm, is that it's trained on images, and the images are then classified and tagged. So in this instance, what you would do is feed it images of cats, and then these images of cats would be pre-labeled in this instance. So you'd be, this is, I don't know cat species, so this is a Siamese cat, this is a gray and white cat, this is a long-haired cat, this is what cats with short hair look like, and you give it all of these different attributes, as many attributes as you can, for it to identify and be able to make distinctions as to what different types of cats that there are, and then that gets fed into the hardware component, and then that's essentially, you do this over and over and over again, as much data as you can provide it, and so until it can start producing accurate results. And so that's kind of the goal there, is like, when do you know that an algorithm, especially in this instance, is trained? And so the way that you can tell that is that it's, again, able to accurately produce results. So if you are training it on cats and you've been feeding it images of cats, and then you show it an image of a dog, and then you say, is this a cat? And it says, no, this is a cat. This is not an image of a cat. We don't, like, it doesn't necessarily have to know that it's a dog. We could train it also that it's a dog in that instance, but at a base level, our success in our base algorithm would be that it's able to determine that this image is not a cat. And then so moving on from there, that's really kind of just the general overview of CNNs. Again, CNNs are the oldest. So starting around like 2012, CNNs really started taking off. So it's and technology before that, it's about 20-year-old technology at this point that we're talking about when we're talking about this aspect of machine learning. So this is kind of the most refined, oldest, and most well out there. So the limitations of CNN algorithms are that they're very bad at sequencing. And then so if you showed it images of cats, cat 1, cat 2, cat 3, cat 4, and then you asked it which one of these that I showed you is cat 2, it couldn't tell you that. It could tell you that they're all cats, but it wouldn't be able to order or remember that cat number 2 was the one that you showed it. And that's kind of the limitation and the end of CNN algorithms, because they essentially, at the end of the day, the limitation, they don't have any memory